So we're going to evaluate these algebraic expressions. The first one I'm going to do over here is 9. Oops. Sorry, I got to switch to the pen first. It is u plus x times y. And we're going to evaluate it for certain values of the variable. And specifically, they're giving us the values of u is 3, x is 7, and y is 4. If you remember, you should, every time you substitute a value in for a variable, you put parentheses, and then you put that value of the variable inside of it. And we say u is 3 plus x is 7, y is 4. There are different variables that each get their own parentheses, and you can see that the multiplication is going to need to happen before the addition. If you don't follow order of operations, you'll do 3 plus 7 is 10, then 10 times 4 is 40. And you'll notice that they give you that answer, just in case you were doing it wrong. But you're not going to do it wrong. You know what to do. So we do 3 plus 7 times 4 is 28, and we get 31. That is the right answer. Yep. And we're going to then do number 10 now, where we're going to evaluate, watch. This is an interesting one to do, because it is already in parentheses, AB, all of that squared. And we're going to do that for A is 10 and B is 5. So how do we do that? Well, we already have parentheses on the outside, and now we're going to be putting parentheses where the variables go. So we need to turn that into brackets and say brackets. And then A is 10, and B is 5. They get their own parentheses, and then the whole thing gets brackets around it, squared. And the outside brackets here tell you, this is like a grouping symbol. This is like parentheses, saying you need to do what's inside this grouping symbol, these grouping symbols, the brackets, before you can do the squaring or anything outside of it. So we're going to do that. We're going to first say 10 times 5 is 50, and that 50, even though it's simplified to a single number and we can get rid of the parentheses of the 10 and the 5, there's still the brackets that then get turned back into parentheses. Squared. Okay? It's not 50 times 2. It is not 100. That would be one possible choice there if you didn't understand what squaring was. And there's a lot of other ways that that could get messed up. For example, you could square just the b, square b, square 5 times 5, get 25, and do 25 times 10, 250. Incorrect. Lots of other ways you could get this wrong. The correct way is to do what's inside first. 10 times 5 is 50, get the 50 there. Then you're going to square that. What is 50 times 50? Well, if you're multiplying numbers with zeros on them, you can multiply the non-zero digits, the 5 and the 5. I'll write it out over here just so you can imagine it here as 50 times 50. Okay, we're going to strike the zeros for a second, leave the zeros off, and we're going to multiply 5 times 5, which is 25, and then add the 2 zeros back on. Okay, so clearing all that stuff back out. Five times 5. Sorry, just one second. Get my colors back. Is 25, and we got a 0 from each of the two 50s that we multiplied together, so there's going to be 2 zeros. And let me box these. Those are our numbers. So again, here we're up here, and we get that. We're done.